this is the central mihrab of the mosque in front of your eyes. And it's important not only because it is a central mihrab, but because most of it, about 60% of the decoration that you see there is still original from the 16th century. And it's probably one of the best examples of tile mosaic. You know, so far, most of the decoration we have seen is of this type. We call it Mallorca, after one of the cities in Spain. These are solid ceramic tiles. They can be colored in different colors and put in different shapes, yeah, and used for the decoration of different places. But the tile mosaic is much more difficult and much more time-consuming job, because you can see these are small pieces of tiles in different colors, placed in different positions to create a playful decoration, playful design. So how is it made? First of all, you make the design itself. You make a draft. Once the draft is ready, you prepare the solid tiles of different colors. Then, using simple hammers, you cut them into small pieces of the desired shape. Once those small puzzles are ready, you bring them together, you put the draft on the ground, and then one by one, you take the small pieces, place them upside down, exactly at the spot they're supposed to be. Once the whole thing is complete, you pour plaster over it. You pour the plaster so that it gets hardened and solid. It brings all of the things together. Once that is done, you take the panel and attach it to the wall. So obviously it's much more time consuming, it's much more difficult job to do, and it did not originate here. We learned the tile mosaic craft from the Persians. Iranians were the ones who taught us the tile mosaic technique. So this is probably one of the best examples in Bukhara. What I like about it is because it's very original. Look, for example, at this panel here, the rectangular panel on the left over the column. So the upper part of that, the upper half of that panel is original. The lower half of that panel is modern restoration, Soviet restoration. And they did a good job here actually, because they preserved the original section, yeah? And they did not, when they restored the new part, they did not make the color matching the original. They actually made the color less bright intentionally, so that when you look at it, you see the original, it attracts your eye, and then the new part just completes the picture. This is what the real good restoration means. Unfortunately, today, we departed from that approach. Now we want things to be shiny and beautiful. Disneyification, as some people call it. Look at the lower part here, this restoration of 2008. That's what I mean by today's restoration, unfortunately. There were some original parts there as well, but they didn't bother keeping it. They just took it down, and instead they completely restored it in such a bright color. You know, it looks like as if it was done a couple of days ago. So this is the discussion we have today, the debate that is actually relevant for us today, how we should proceed from here. Should we preserve the original section and restore what is left, what is lost, or should we do things as if, you know, as nice and as beautiful looking as possible? And I hope that we'll end up with the first choice.